Mumbai votes to elect its representatives for India's richest civic body. The BMC election 2017 witnesses the best voter turnout in over a decade of over 52%.
वोटिंग करना चाहते हैं, हम अपना हक तो निभाना चाहते हैं, लेकिन यहाँ से करीबन 1400-1500 लोगों का नाम नहीं है।
बाजू वालों का नंबर है, उनका वोटिंग है, लेकिन हमारा घर माइनस किया है, हमारा वोटिंग नहीं है।
हमारा ये टाइम में नाम नहीं, हमारे औरत का नाम नहीं है। ये कैसा हो गया मालूम नहीं क्या किया वो।
But many voters returned without getting inked. Names of entire families and housing societies are missing from the list. The aftermath of the Chennai oil spill, experts raise alarm, say the health of fishermen and volunteers at risk. They demand precautionary action. Remember, we brought you this story on Magic Bricks Now, and we made a repeated fuss about the fact that there was no protective gear given to fishermen and students and unskilled laborers who were tasked with cleaning up the beach. They are now at risk of health problems. This is Urban Debate 360. We'll bring you news from across the country over the next half hour, but starting with the big day for Maharashtra. 5 cities witnessed the best voter turnout in over a decade. Mumbai's turnout of 52% was higher than even the 2014 elections, when Mumbai came out to vote for the central and the state government. The next step, of course, counting, which will be underway on Thursday, the 23rd of February. Stakes are high when it comes to who will manage the maximum city, or Mumbai, but of course, we have the richest municipal corporation, which means that much money in the hands of whoever wins. Disha has this report.
52.17%, that's the voter turnout in Mumbai. In terms of other numbers, we are yet to get a clarity on that. We are yet to get that information from the State Election Commission. We'll of course keep a very close eye on that, and we'll update as and when we get the numbers. But this, of course, it's sort of a decent numbers, at least when it comes to Mumbai as a city is concerned, because in last civic polls, the voter turnout was very low. It was even below 45%. That was 44%. So considering this time's voter turnout, the numbers seems to be quite decent. And when we spoke to the State Election Commissioner J.S. Saharia, what he told us is that, of course, this was what he was expecting, at least about 50% voter turnout in Mumbai. And amongst the 10 municipal corporations, we have all the 10 municipal corporations voter turnout details, and Thane appears to be the first municipal corporation with the highest voter turnout with 53.11%, then followed by Nashik with 52.63% voter turnout, and then third comes Mumbai with 52.17%. And the State Election Commissioner, clearly he says that social media awareness this time around has really caught the attention of all the even first-time voters, youth, and even to some extent senior citizens, because there were a lot many awareness about it on the social media as well. So of course, when we spoke to various politicians across the political parties, they are really happy with the kind of response that they have got from Mumbai, from the citizens of Mumbai. And of course, we'll keep a very close eye on the other details, and we'll keep updated as and when we get it from the State Election Commission.
In fact, we understand that the Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has tweeted thanking Mumbai for a record voting percentage, and also the people of all the municipal corporations and Zilla Panchayats for being part of the municipal elections. But there's a huge difference in the voter turnout as contributed by senior citizens who were seen coming out in large numbers this Tuesday. In our non-stop coverage of the voting day, we spoke with several senior citizens on what they wanted from this government that they're voting for.
I feel municipal elections are more important because all the problems around your house where you stay, your city, have to be tackled, and if corporators are more interested in making money and enriching themselves, then they neglect the roads, the water problem, the garbage problem. So these are the things that they should bother about.
We are interested in our locality being kept clean, the roads not having big potholes, We don't want flooding during the monsoon. All these things I'm interested in, and that's why I vote.
I think it's important for any citizen to vote, and I think it's an obligation any citizen has towards the country.
We are Indian citizens, so we have to vote.
And I have been voting since 1957.
The municipal administration has gone to dogs. The city of Mumbai is in ruins almost. It's very badly managed. I want a lot of improvement in the civic amenities, cleanliness. The Prime Minister has been harping on this point of Swachh Bharat, but I see filth and squalor all over. I want that some responsible people, good people should come and clean up the city and provide us some relief.
Actually, I'm voting for last about 20 years, and it's important we have to use our right. I mean, it's our fundamental right to vote, that's what I feel. And being a true national, I mean, a lot of people are national, but they vote only 60-70%, not all. So I feel that it is important to select a right person whom you think who can do the development work and take care of the interest of the citizens. That's more important for me.
I am a citizen of India, and I want a lot of betterment for India. So it is my duty to cast my vote towards the thing because I am Indian.
I'm voting after a gap of maybe I think 7-8 years. So when I get opportunity, this time also I have to go, supposed to be has to go out of station, but luckily I got this opportunity. And one more thing is, this election is for us, Lok Sabha, whatever other thing is not important. For me, this election is very, because this who is elected, they will be reaching out directly.
I have been greatly motivated this time to vote because I realized that, you've got to see improvement. And we have been seeing that for a while now. It's also my moral duty to vote. And if I don't vote and I get bad governance, I have just myself to blame.
वोट हमारे लिए ज़रूरी है भाई, हम भारतीय नागरिक हैं, हम ज़रूर पहला वोटिंग करेंगे, बाद में हम दूसरा काम करेंगे।
वोट हर इंसान का हक है तो वो करना ही चाहिए।
जब से मताधिकार का हक मिला है तब से हर टाइम वोट किया है और हर एक नागरिक का फ़र्ज है वो कंपलसरी वोट करे।
जिसको अगर हक मिल रहा है आफ्टर 18 इयर्स उनको करना ही चाहिए वोट।
Obviously, if we are voting, then we have the right to crib. If we are going to crib just without voting, the candidates vote for the best, hope for the best.
Maximum people should come out and cast their vote. It's not like they are enjoying a public holiday. In name of that, they will cast their vote and no one goes out and turn out to cast their vote and they enjoy the holiday. That is wrong thing.
Well, of course, there were several Indians and several citizens who were kept from exercising their vote and who were not able to experience the pride of voting. Residents, we understand, of entire housing societies didn't find their names on the voting list. There was a lot of complaining. Disha Shah spoke with one such group in Vikhroli.
The big day is here and Mumbai votes for the richest civic body BMC elections. But as responsible voters, many Mumbai citizens, they came here to vote only to find no names if they are in the voter list. Of course, I'm in the Vikhroli area here where almost 4,000 voters did not have their names in the voter list. I'm joined here by almost 50 voters here, residents here staying in this particular ward. Sir, आप बताइए, आप यहाँ पे कितने बजे आए और आपको कब पता चला कि आपका नाम नहीं है वोटर लिस्ट में?
सवेरे मैं यहाँ पे 9 बजे आया और 9 बजे के बाद हम लोग पूरा लिस्ट चेक कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उसमें मेरा कहाँ पे नाम नहीं है। गए 25 साल से हम लोग यहाँ पे वोटिंग कर रहे हैं। लास्ट 2014 में भी हम लोग वोटिंग किया है विधानसभा के लिए, लेकिन अब भी अपना रिसेंटली मेरा लिस्ट में मेरा मिसेस का मेरा नाम इसमें लिस्ट में है नहीं।
मैं, मेरी मम्मी और मेरे सिस्टर हम लोग 3 बजे यहाँ आए। हम लोग हर साल हर वक्त वोटिंग को आते हैं। हमने लोकसभा में भी वोटिंग किया था, विधानसभा में भी किया था, तभी हमारा सबका नाम था। मैंने वहाँ पे लिस्ट में देखा तो नाम नहीं, यहाँ देखा ऑफिसर को मिलने की कोशिश की तो हमें मिलने के लिए कोई भी ऑफिसर नहीं आया। तभी मुझे बाकी के भाई बहनों ने बताया कि भाई साहब हम वोट करना चाहते हैं, वोटिंग करना चाहते हैं, हम अपना हक को निभाना चाहते हैं, लेकिन यहाँ से करीबन 1400-1500 लोगों का नाम नहीं है। मैं कहता हूँ एक पूरी बिल्डिंग की बिल्डिंग गायब है।
वोटिंग में हमारा पहला घर आता है, उसके बाद हमारे बाजू वालों का घर आता है। बाजू वालों का नंबर है, उनका वोटिंग है, लेकिन हमारा घर माइनस किया है, हमारा वोटिंग नहीं है। तो मुझे वोटिंग करना है, मेरे पास आईडी प्रूफ है, मुझे कुछ भी करके मैं रुकने वाली हूँ, मुझे वोटिंग करना ही है।
मुझे भी वोटिंग करना है।
हाँ मुझे चांस दीजिए, मैं
तो
वोटिंग
यहाँ पे जो ऑफिसर्स जो बैठे हैं वो अभी क्या रिस्पॉन्ड कर रहे हैं?
नहीं मिलते हो।
मैडम यहाँ पे ऐसी सिचुएशन है, कंदमौर नगर, टॉगोर नगर, ये वार्ड क्रमांक 118 है। यहाँ पे कंदमौर पे 5 बूथ है और टॉगोर नगर पे 2 बूथ है। मैं आज सुबह से लेके कंदमौर और टॉगोर नगर के हर एक बूथ में जाके आया, वहाँ पे यही सिचुएशन है। यहाँ पे अपना जो मोबाइल ऐप है 5 जनवरी में जो प्रसिद्ध किया था इलेक्शन कमिश्नर ने, उसमें नाम है वोटर का, लेकिन अंदर जाने के बाद जहाँ पे हमारे पोलिंग एजेंट जो बूथ में बैठे हैं वहाँ पे भी वो लिस्ट में नाम है, लेकिन जो बूथ के अंदर जो मेन आदमी बैठता है उनके पास जो इलेक्शन कमिश्नर की जो लिस्ट है उसके ऊपर नाम नहीं है करके इनको वोट करने को नहीं दे रहे।
हमने प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर से भी कांटेक्ट करने की कोशिश की, जोनल ऑफिसर से भी कांटेक्ट करने की कोशिश की। सब लोग ये जगह पे मौजूद है, लेकिन कोई बाहर आके हमसे डिबेट नहीं कर रहा है।
मैं 50 साल से इधर रहती है, बिल्डिंग में 26 में हमारा ये टाइम में नाम नहीं, मेरा औरत का नाम नहीं है। ये कैसा हो गया मालूम नहीं क्या किया वो। हम सोचता है, बहुत सोचता है इसके बारे में, क्या कैसा लिस्ट बनाया, कौन बनाया लिस्ट पता नहीं है वो।
So from all sections, right from senior citizens to even youth for that matter, they do not have their names in the voter list, and they say that this is the first time that they have faced this unique problem, and they had come here to vote, but they do not have their names, so they are going back, and none of the cooperators, none of the officers sitting in the ward, they are really cooperating with them, so they really demand that they really demand a reply from the state election and also from the ward officers as to why this thing happened.
Well, moving on to news from the rest of the country. In Delhi, after we covered the tragic death of 8-year-old Ghazal Yadav, who after a karate match held at her school, DPS in Gurgaon, passed away, the Women and Child Development Minister Menaka Gandhi has ordered the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights to investigate the case. The move comes after Rajya Sabha MP Rajiv Chandrasekhar wrote to the government about the matter.
There is a need, therefore, for state governments and the Department of Education, the Department of Primary Education and other departments, when they regulate schools and when they audit schools every year, from a point of view of giving them permission, that they also audit them in the context of child safety. That is not happening. And if that is happening, it is usually, like a, chalta hai kind of a thing. But that must change, and schools must increasingly be held to account. They must be made to answer questions on why a child like Ghazal and other children are getting injured, and then when injured, not getting treated, and then dying when she was in school. The fundamental starting point of all this is that there is a correct, fair and transparent investigation done. How did the child die? What caused the child's death? Where was the child injured, if it was an injury that caused the death? What caused the injury? Who was negligent or not negligent in the effecting of this crime and the tragic death of the child? Unless for every crime against a child or every tragic death of a child, we have this kind of movement by various institutions that are tasked with protecting a child, these things will continue.
Moving on to Chennai, breakthrough in the case of the 3-year-old girl who was murdered and who was found then in a dumpster. The police have confirmed to us that Malini, the victim's neighbor, has confessed to the crime. She in fact lured the child out of her home to steal the child's jewelry. Shweta brings us this report.
A 3-year-old girl was allegedly murdered and her body was found by the rag pickers in Tiruvattriyur on Sunday morning. Inspector of Ennur Women Police Station informs us that Malini, the girl's neighbor, is the prime accused. They have arrested her at 6 p.m. on Monday. Malini is the one who invited the child to play in her house and later stuffed the child's mouth with a handkerchief and her sari's blouse. She also burnt the child's body and pledged the child's jewels with a fake address. Police sources are waiting to get the post-mortem report, following which they will file a charge sheet. Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy announced a compensation amount of Rs 3 lakh for the victim's family. In Chennai, Shweta for Magic Bricks Now.
Well, staying with Chennai, workers involved in the massive cleanup of the oil spill on Chennai's beaches are now vulnerable to various health hazards After we at Magic Bricks Now raised the issue vehemently over and over again, a fact-finding team has raised similar concerns. The team has sought the government to continuously monitor long-term effects due to exposure of hazardous chemicals to those fishermen who were helping out without any gear. Shweta caught up with Dr. Shruti SG on this. Take a look.
Immediately after the oil spill, in the initial days, many of the locals and people who are part of the cleanup crew, they all reported symptoms of acute toxicity, like eye, nose, throat irritation, and also some of them had cough and chest tightness, and even some school students, they experienced some nausea, vomiting, and headache. Yeah, so these were all the acute symptoms that they reported.
Okay. Do you think overprotective gear could have helped us?
Protective gear could have definitely helped reduce these symptoms. These symptoms could not have been totally done away with, but definitely the occurrence of these symptoms would have been reduced if they had used proper protective gear.
Were the medical camps effective?
There was one medical camp, and that was also a makeshift medical camp from an Amma canteen, and it was mainly to deal with the short-term problems that were there. Probably if they had injuries, they had TT injections, and they had minimal essential medicines. And in the sense of the oil spill and the long-term follow-up that is required, that alone is not enough, and it requires a larger medical team to address the whole issue.
Okay, so what do you think about the long-term effects? How will people be affected due to this?
So in the long term, it might be several years or even decades. So people might experience, people who have been exposed to these chemicals, not for 1 or 2 days, but for a considerable period of time, without any protective gear, they might experience cancer. They might get blood cancers like leukemia, skin cancer, lung cancer, or bladder cancers. These are all proven.
So what do you think the government should be doing now?
So the government should, first of all, they should fully ascertain, they should have an expert team to to find out the scale of the spill and the disaster, and they should have a team of medical experts who can initiate a study. With what data they have on the workers, they can follow up these people, and I think they should have, but now that we have experienced this, for the future they should have a medical team or ready with this sort of knowledge, so that they can handle these patients. And not only the government doctors, but also I think all doctors, both private and government, they have to know what problems can occur in the long term due to this oil spill, so that they can diagnose these patients better and treat them.
Moving on to Bangalore now, another shocker has emerged from the IT city where a 3.5-year-old girl was allegedly sexually assaulted at a preschool in Bellandur. The incident came to light when the girl complained of body aches. After the accused supervisor was booked under the POSCO Act, the principal of the school was also taken into custody for questioning. Post the agitation by angry parents, the school shutters were brought down. Shrija has details on the case.
Just a day after the BJP party workers staged a protest against the Congress-ruled Karnataka government for failing to implement stricter laws to protect the women of IT capital, yet another shocker of sexual assault has emerged from the IT city. What we know is that a 3.5-year-old girl was sexually assaulted by a supervisor at a pre-nursery school in Bellandur police station limits. What we know is that the little girl in fact narrated the entire ordeal to her parents, where she complained of stomach ache as well as pain in her private parts. Also, what we know is that the parents immediately registered a complaint with the Bellandur police station, who launched a manhunt to find the accused. In fact, the accused supervisor has been taken into custody, and a case on POXO also has been registered against this particular accused. What we also know is that the parents who were angry, the angry lot, were up in arms and staged an agitation on Tuesday, and they brought the shutters down, school shutters down. At the same time, the police have also taken the school principal to custody. In Bengaluru, Shrija for Magic Bricks Now.
Police have been registered a POXO Act case
and also we detained the perpetrator, and he is in the remand for judicial custody. When the complaint came to police station about 12 o'clock that night, also police informed the management and also informed the parents. Parent came the next day. We immediately took the complaint and we arrested the main perpetrator. He is under judicial custody. And second part of the entire thing is how management was responded for the entire whole situation, and parents have their own reservation about the response, the first response of the school management. That is also investigated. And already under the child protection law of the Karnataka, there is a clear-cut instruction for the school management that how to follow the safe school regulations for each child. There are the regulations issued by the government of Karnataka, then by the Department of Education and Public Instruction, on so three circulars. So that the independent committee consists of NGOs and public, parents. There is a committee, and also including the police will come and inspect whether this thing is there. But prima facie, it is known that the who perpetrator is not supposed to handle the child. It is already child. It is against the orders of the circular. So section 188 under IPC, but the authority is not compel the orders of the thing. We are registering the case under 188 against the management who it is there, and will taking the investigation for that.
And staying with the city of Bangalore, another horrific incident. A Karnataka State Road Transport Corporation, a KSRTC bus went up in flames while it was on its way back to the city. The bus was on its way from Chikmagalur to Bangalore on the Nelamangala highway. Now, while the bus conductor and the driver managed to get most of the people out of the bus in time, one 50-year-old woman did not manage to escape from the bus, and she was charred alive. 2 other passengers were grievously injured. The KSRTC bus, I told you, was on NH4 in Nelamangala.
See, this incident had occurred in the midnight around 12:20. This bus was coming from Sringeri to Bangalore. It was an ordinary KSRTC bus. It's basically a Ashok Leyland bus, and it has run around 7,30,000 kilometers. Generally, we dispose these buses at around 9 lakh kilometers. Mechanical wise, if you see, the bus is intact actually. The engine is intact. The fuel tank is intact. Then the battery box is just safe. Tires are also safe. So I don't see that the accident has happened. The fire has come because of the mechanical failure of the bus. However, we had noticed some material inside the bus. I suspect, and even the forest, the fire services and forensic science officers were also telling that there may be some material which had attracted fire and which is the cause of fire. In this accident, one lady had died and 4 people got injured. One was relieved in the morning itself after giving the first aid. One lady is serious because the 60% plus burn. 2 are normal. We have taken care of their medical expenses, and we have announced compensation of 5 lakh to this died lady's relative.
Well, Minister of Housing Venkaiah Naidu on Tuesday assured that RERA, which is the real estate regulator, will be implemented by May this year in all states, and that's a tall deadline. In fact, the government has approved 90,000 crore rupees in investments in affordable housing. Listen in.
Whatever the parliament has approved, that spirit has to be there, reflected in the rules made by the states. And I told them no dilution, no deviation. But at the same time, we must understand we are in a cooperative federal system, and the states have a right depending on the local situation, local requirement. So the public also in those states, and also the resident welfare associations, the consumers, they are advised also to prevail upon the states depending on the situation there, because otherwise, if you know that land is a state issue. Land is a state issue. And you have seen how much reaction was there when Centre wanted to bring a Land Acquisition Act. At the end of the day, this is a very delicate matter where Centre and state, both of us, our powers have been clearly marked by the Constitution, and Parliament also have made it very clear. I would urge upon the states, keep this spirit in mind and then follow the same. And they have been given time till 17th May. Everybody should come with a regulator. And I have been impressing on them from time to time. I will pursue it with all the vigor that is required.
Right, that's a wrap on Urban Debate 360. For more news and updates, stay with Magic Bricks now.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.